Hi, John Wilson, Technical Service Manager, Ravenheat Manufacturing. I've been asked over a long period of time to do a couple of YouTube videos on the HE98S and the HE30 Compact. These are the two brochures of the boilers. The HE30 Compact carrying a 10-year warranty, manufacturer's warranty, and the 98S carrying a 5 years manufacturing warranty, and that can be extended to 10, obviously at a cost. Just ring for instructions. Ravenheat Manufacturing, we've been around now for 35 years, started by a chap called Lewis Pickersgill, and Lewis Pickersgill was a Leeds plumber and heating engineer, and to be honest is still the driving force behind this business. We are a British company working throughout Europe. We have a wholly owned subsidiary in Europe distributing boilers around Europe. So let's start from the beginning. Let's unpack the boiler. What we've done over recent years, we're trying to eliminate the use of polystyrenes. So if you look at the cardboard carton, undo from the top, flip it over, lift the boiler out, and we use cardboard strengthenings, hard cardboard strengthenings. We've got a small amount of polystyrene at the bottom and a small amount of polystyrene at the top. We are working to eradicate the polystyrene altogether for obvious reasons. That will be very shortly. Okay, let's hang the boiler now. Okay, simple. That's the boiler frame. Imagine those two bolts there, the coach bolts in the wall. Put your template on the wall, okay, mark for the top fixings, not necessarily bottom fixings due to the weight of the boiler. So mark for the top fixings, imagine those are your coach bolts, guys, in the wall. Offer the boiler up, onto your first, your boiler's safe, swing around, hang on the second fixing. No brackets over the back, nothing that you can't see when you're hanging the boiler. The coach bolts are seen, the lugs are at the top, and on the customer's highline they cannot see those fixings. Okay, right, let's look at the fluing system. Off the top we have the boiler bend, and the boiler bend fits directly onto the top of the boiler. So basically, guys, what I'm saying there, you haven't got the deep flue header with the test points incorporated in the flue header. Nothing wrong with that system, but the only negative I can think of is that the height of the boiler, you haven't got the distance from the ceiling. So for us, you're better off with the bend inserted onto the top and having the test points incorporated on the bend. It gives you more play with your ceiling height, okay? The flue system itself, we have changed from a white terminal end to a black terminal end, okay, and the terminal can be moved to wherever you require. We have a seal for the outside and a seal for the inside, which hides a multiple of sins on your plasterwork, okay. Now the reason we've moved to this fluing system is quite simple. There's a screw here on the terminal end. When you're using a plume kit, as you know, with most plume kits you will just fit over the terminal end here, and the actual thing will leak here because it's the wrong way around, as you're aware as plumbing and heating engineers. But this, take out, okay, and then on the plume kit you have a rubber O-ring, and then that just inserts into there. So basically your elbow is tighter to the wall when you're using plume kits, and there you've got male female in the correct way so it won't leak. Okay, that's the reason we've moved. Then you use the terminal end at the end when you finish with your plume kit. Dead simple. It's going down a storm. Okay, plastic, so no rotting from the condensate. Okay, dead simple to install. Cut, rasp, insert, job done. Okay, so that's the fluing system. 125 systems available, and also twin flue systems available for obviously long flue applications. Right, okay, let's look at the boiler. This is the HE98S, and underneath we have the valve packs. External filling loop required, okay, and the line of pipes at the bottom, the gas is at the left. I'll explain that a little bit later on. Here on the HE Compact, basically, guys, what's the difference? The HE98 is 300mm depth, and if you look at the compact, 260, okay? So you've only got 260 depth. So if you need the room, if you're tight for room, the compact is the one for you, okay? And we've worked with you, the engineers. It's you, the engineers, that's designed these products. We are a genuine manufacturer, and we can react very, very quickly to what you ask for, and that is what we've done with these two products, okay? We've made it very, very simple to use for your customers, okay? If you like, every base has been sorted in our opinion, okay? So, the display. Every time your customer touches a display button, the black light illuminates. We've doubled the size of the numerals so the customer can see that display. Dead simple, okay? Let's remove the case. As I'm removing the case, I just want to tell you a couple of things about the boiler. It's open therm compatible on both appliances, okay? If you give us a ring or email us, we have a list of compatible open therm controls that will work with the appliance and work okay. Okay, 2 screws underneath on the bottom panel. The panel is on keyhole slots, okay? Right, from the top down, the depression chamber. No sharp edges, guys. All that metal has been rolled over, okay? Not a cheap process to do, but there's no razor blades inside there, okay? Drop down, here we've got the flue sensor. To the right of the flue sensor we have the expansion vessel. As you can clearly see, guys, the Schrader valve is there slap bang in front of you. It's a dream, okay? So on your annual service, when you're checking the pressure in the vessel, it couldn't be any easier for you. Drop down. Let's look at the front of the heat exchanger. I'll address the heat exchanger shortly. But if you look on the front of the heat exchanger, we have a glass window. And that glass window in operation will not soot up, okay? It stays clear. And that is perfect for when you're doing annual servicing, because you can check the flame picture before you put your analyzer in. You know, it's like when you corrupt an analyzer, it's a nightmare. Well, with this, you can check that the flame picture is somewhere near before you stick that analyzer in. Drop down, we've got spark, we've got rectification. Just you look at the quality of these leads. They're not braided. They're not braided cloth. Thick rubber. A massive resistor on that spark. That stops any interference with TVs and radios, which the customer can complain of interference. Okay? Come down. Clip-on thermistors on the flow and return so you have no water issues. Okay? If you look inside there again, guys, not rubber hoses, not plastic, copper pipes. Okay? Copper pipes. It's the only way for us. I'm sorry, it's expensive for us to do, but it's quality. Okay? When we look at the heat exchanger in more depth, this is the winner, guys. Okay? One solid coil of stainless steel. This coil is 28mm stainless steel flattened. Okay? Now, there is no joints on that stainless steel coil, meaning it can't leak. Okay? At the back, we have a vermiculite pad, non-carcinogenic, okay? Inside at the top, we don't have the system on the top where you have a rubber washer, a rubber seal. I'll see if I've got one. We don't have this system where that fits on the top and the flue fits in, and if it's not fitted correctly, you know what happens, the condensate rolls over the top, guys. Here, the seal is encapsulated. So it can't move, and you cannot fit that wrong because it's encapsulated. Inside we have a shroud, and that shroud stops the bulk of the condensate getting to the die-cast aluminium. Not sank cast, die-cast, okay? Flow and return at the bottom, cannot airlock. It pushes, it pulls, okay? But the biggest winner with this heat exchanger for you lads, you guys, sorry, is there is no plastic connected to that heat exchanger, okay? No flue headers at the back, no sumps at the bottom, nothing that's going to melt and nothing that's going to case harden. That is the heat exchanger, okay? Quality, stainless steel, well tried and tested. Right, the fan. Probably one of the easiest burners to get out in the industry. 1, 2, 3, 4, the burner is out, okay? Look how simple that fan is to work on, guys. It's a dream. This is the insulation pad set. We've asked them to triple the thickness of that, and basically it keeps the heat where it belongs inside the heat exchanger. Also, it keeps the front cool, okay? So it doesn't get hot at the front, it's cool. Here we have a seal, and that seal is good for 2 years, okay? If there's no deterioration, there's no need necessary to move, you can move further from that, okay? Spark, rectification, an absolute doddle to work with, okay? Right, now, let's look at the control panel. Let's take it out of the way. To save you doing any damage and to save any ingress of water on that control panel, when you're working on the appliance or servicing the appliance, you just slide away. And we've extended the harness. And if you unplug here, look at this box. Get it out of the way. That's the answer. None of these flaps that fold down and hold here and water cascade down to the top when you're working on them. Get the thing out of the way. If you want, wrap it in a carrier bag. Look at it. How simple's that? Okay. All external controls wiring at the side. Look at that. Volt free. An absolute dream. If you want this while you're setting the parameters, there's 2 lugs on the back. Voila. There you go. You're now servicing the appliance and you're checking the parameters of the appliance. So let's look underneath, okay? Let's get the harness out of the way. A Grundfos modulating pump, ERP pump, Grundfos, okay? Brass block, not composite, brass, okay? What's the main advantage of brass to us? Well, it's a genuine heat sink, okay? It sinks the heat, you've no deterioration on lip seals or O-rings, it's perfect. The only thing is it's expensive for us, but hey ho, quality. You can't compromise on quality. So, plate heat exchanger, take the bottom plate off, Allen key, it's got to be one of the easiest, guys. You can work on this sat in an armchair. Gas valve to the left hand side, and then your motor on your diverter valve. It's a dream. Now, one of my favourite features, if you like, and we'll class it as a feature, side panel. Do you need site clearance on this boiler? You tell me. Watch. Okay. The screws out. Okay. Watch the side panel. Voila. Okay. A dream. Slides in and back into position. And slide. How simple is that? With a machine that bends metal both ways, makes the seal a dream. Okay? Right, so let's look at the block. This is a similar brass block to what we're using. Okay? Now, this is the strengthening bar at the back. Every mortal thing's been thought of. A lot you have this bent piece here down at the bottom. So you're getting up there with your Nipex, your Rothenbergers, your Gordons, and you can't get to the back nuts at the back because you've got the strengthening bar in your way, okay? Well, we've put the strengthening bent piece at the top, and these are not just circles around here, these are horseshoe. So if you ever needed to drop the block, Allen key, that block will just drop straight onto the work surface. You're not tying yourself up in knots, guys. We've thought of every angle. We had engineers in this room for a long time telling us what they wanted from a boiler, and this is what we've designed it around, okay? Right. Here we've got the compact, here we've got the 98S. In the manuals, we have here, no stone unturned. and this is fantastic for your customers, because your customers can see if there is any failures. Now let's not be silly about failures, guys. A boiler that's showing a failure code is a boiler that's doing what it says on the tin. It's actually functioning as it's supposed to function. It's letting you know and the customer know exactly what the issue is. And some of these fault finding codes are customer related, i.e. pressure, too much pressure, so it's very, very handy for a customer to have a copy of this. And the thing is, if you keep a copy of this, then your customer rings up, you know exactly what to inform that customer to do. We've made it not only easy for you, but easy for your customers also, okay? And down there's no stone unturned. Any blip or any failure on this boiler, it will show this code, okay? So it's self-diagnostics, okay? Simple. Right. Let's go one step further than that. And let's look at your parameters for you engineers. There's nothing that you can't make this boiler do, okay? And please, when you start installing these boilers, give us a ring. We will send you a copy of these parameters. And basically, it's simple. Add her up, add her down. For 5 seconds, you're into the parameters. I'll just give you a brief run over the parameters, what you can do. You can set your central heating fan speeds through the parameters. You can set your hot water fan speeds through the parameters. You can have the key pot disabled on or off, or one of the parameters, the maximum temperature on central heating is 50 degrees C and it cannot be altered. Do you really need fancy controls? If you oversize the radiators slightly and you can run this boiler at 50 degrees C, it's condensating wherever it's running. You know, it's amazing. I've got mine at home running at 50 degrees C, it's a dream. If your customer's not happy with the temperature, then take it off that parameter. But what I'm saying is, guys, your customer can't tamper with those parameters unless you do. So it means that you can set the boiler to optimum, how exactly you want it running, for which gives you the customer the best running options. Enable pump locking. If you fit a boiler in a loft, and every 6 hours, if the boiler doesn't operate, the pump energises for 30 seconds. Sod's law. It doesn't energise at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it energises at 4 o'clock in the morning. You can take that off if you want, guys. It's just anything that can be a niddle for your customers, you can alter it, you can tamper with it, okay? Test mode, different types of open therm devices, ignition power. If you've got a long flue and a boiler fires and it can be a little bit aggressive on ignition, you can alter that on a long flue, not on a standard flue, not necessary. You can alter the parameters of the boiler to 25 to 30 kilowatts. You can change from natural gas to LPG. You can change your different types of pumps that you fit in the future if anything goes wrong with the pumps. You can disable the internal timer, because as you know, it's not boiler plus, you fit in external timers now. You can disable the internal timer so there's no confusion for your customers. There's nothing that you can't do on these parameters, guys. Please, even if you're not going to fit one, ask for a copy of these. It'll blow your mind. True, it'll blow your mind. Okay. Right, so let's have a look at the compact. Now this is the boiler which has 260 deep, remember, and this is 10-year warranty as standard. Okay. Off with the front. Same issues. Parallel machine screws, not self-tappers, and stainless steel studs. Quality, not digging into the metal all the time. Quality, it's a cost to us, but it's a quality appliance, okay? Zinc lined expansion vessel, okay, again with the Schrader valve slap bang in front of you. Exactly the same component procurement in here as what's in here, guys. And again, this is the square flap. This drops down, yeah? But again, any chance of any water, get it out of the way. It's not the flap that's down here that's cascading water onto it and ending up with your hairdryer on circuit boards. Madness. External controls in here, okay? And here you can pick up 240 volts for your external timers. So for your external controls, pick up your 240 volts from there. Underneath, back to position. Underneath, here we've got the valve pack. You've got the gas in the middle. You've asked for the gas in the middle for many years. You've got it. This, you have the gas on the left. But there's that much room inside that boiler, as you've seen, guys. If you need gas in the middle when you're piping it up, if you've got it on the left, just bend a piece of 15 round and drop it down the middle. Dead easy, simple. On both boilers for the condensate hose, okay? Couldn't be any easier for you. Gas in the middle, flow and return where you require, and look what we've done with the valve pack. It moves when you're doing a boiler change to line up with the pipes that are already there. It's a dream, okay? And when the case goes back on both boilers, when the case goes back on, that valve pack, guys, is totally hidden. You know, when you've got valve packs exposed, it can be the best boiler in the land, but the customer will think it's ugly because they can see the valve pack. It's hidden, okay? So that's just I could go on all day, as you know, but that's just a brief rundown on the two boilers. Now, these boilers are available through the merchant chain. If you're struggling to get your hands on these boilers, please get in contact with us. We're desperate to work with you. Just let us know where you want us to go. We'll contact your merchant and let's see if we can get something sorted. We've made it as simple as we can for you, and we've made it as simple as we can for your customers, okay? The backup service is second to none, as most of you are aware. All we want to do, let's do some business with you, let's help, and let's get it sorted. And they're very competitive out in the market. And as you can clearly see, guys, there's quality. And positive feedback is good for us. Negative feedback is also good for us. If there's anything else you would change about these boilers, please let us know. But as I said, we've had many engineers crawling over this room, writing notes of exactly what they want from a gas appliance. And these are them, guys. There's nothing else we can do. And we are a British company. Give us a go. Thanks for your time. Cheers.